Medieval India, chapter number 15, page number 186. Nur Jahan. The story of Nur Jahan's life, her first marriage with an Iranian, Asaf Khan, and his death in a clash with Mughal governor of Bengal. Nur Jahan's stay in Agra with an elderly relation of Jahangir, and her marriage with Jahangir 4 years later, 1611, are too well known to be repeated in detail here. Sober historians do not believe that Jahangir was responsible for the death of her first husband. Jahangir's chance meeting with her in the Meena Bazaar and marrying her was not so unusual. Her family was a respectable one, and her father, Imamudullah, had been made joint diwan by Jahangir in the first year of his reign. After a brief eclipse due to the involvement of one of his sons with Khusrau's rebellion, he had been restored to his position. Having been tested in this office and following Nur Jahan's marriage with Jahangir, he was raised to the office of the Chief Diwan. Other members of family also benefited from this alliance, their mansups being augmented. Itimaduddaulah proved to be able, competent, and loyal, and wielded considerable influence in the affairs of the state till his death 10 years later. Nur Jahan's brother Asaf Khan also was a learned and an able man. He was appointed the khan-i-saman, a post reserved for nobles in whom the emperor had full confidence. He married his daughter to Khurram, Shah Jahan, who was his father's favorite following the rebellion and imprisonment of Khusrau. Some modern historians are of the opinion that along with her father and brother, and in alliance with Khurram, Nur Jahan formed a group or Janta which managed Jahangir so that without its backing and support, no one could advance in his career. And that this led to the division of the court into two factions, the Nur Jahan Janta and its opponents. It is further argued that Nur Jahan's political ambitions ultimately resulted in the breach between her and Shah Jahan, and that this drove Shah Jahan into rebellion against his father in 1622, since he felt that Jahangir was completely under Nur Jahan's influence. However, some other historians do not agree with this view. They point out that till 1622, when Jahangir's health broke down, all the important political decisions were taken by Jahangir himself, as is clear from his autobiography. The precise political role of Nur Jahan during this period is not clear. She dominated the royal household and set new fashions based on Persian traditions. On account of her position, Persian art and culture acquired great prestige at the court. Nur Jahan was the constant companion of Jahangir and even joined him in his hunting expeditions, since she was a good rider and a sure shot. As such, she could influence Jahangir, and many people approached her to intercede with the king on their behalf. But Jahangir was not dependent on the Janta or Nur Jahan, as is also borne out by the fact that nobles who were not favorites of Janta continued to get their normal promotions. The rise of Shah Jahan was due to his personal qualities and achievements rather than backing of Nur Jahan. Shah Jahan had his own ambitions of which Jahangir was not unaware. In any case, in those times no ruler could afford to allow a noble or a prince to become too powerful, lest he challenge his authority. This was the basic reason for the conflict between Jahangir and Shah Jahan. Shah Jahan's rebellion. The immediate cause of the rebellion was Shah Jahan's refusal to proceed to Kandahar, which had been besieged by the Persians. Shah Jahan was afraid that the campaign would be a long and a difficult one, and that intrigues would be hatched against him during his absence from the court. Hence, he put forward a number of demands, such as a full command of the army, which included the veterans of the Deccan, complete sway over Punjab, and control over a number of important forts, etc. Jahangir was enraged by this attitude. Convinced that the prince was meditating rebellion, he wrote harsh letters and took punitive steps which only made the situation worse and resulted in an open breach. From Mandu, where he was stationed, Shah Jahan made a sudden dash on Agra in order to capture the treasures lost there. Shah Jahan had the full backing of the Deccan army and all the nobles posted there. Gujarat and Malwa had declared for him, and he had the support of his father-in-law Asaf Khan and a number of important nobles at the court. However, in the battle near Delhi, Shah Jahan was defeated by the forces led by Mahabad Khan. He was served from a complete defeat by a valiant stand of Mewar contingent. Another army was sent to wrest Gujarat from Shah Jahan. Shah Jahan was hounded out of the Mughal territories and compelled to take shelter with his erstwhile enemies, the Deccani rulers. However, he crossed the Deccan into Odisha, took the governor by surprise, and soon Bengal and Bihar were under his control. Mahabad Khan was again pressed into service. He took energetic steps, and hence Shah Jahan had to retreat to Deccan again. This time he made an alliance with Malik Ambar, who was once again at war with the Mughals. Soon Shah Jahan wrote abject letters to Jahangir, who felt that it was time to pardon and conciliate his ablest and most energetic son. As part of the agreement, two of Shah Jahan's sons, Dara and Aurangzeb, were sent to the court as hostages, and a tract in the Deccan was assigned for Shah Jahan's expenses. This was 1626. Thank you everyone for tuning in. In the next part, we'll start with Mahabad Khan on page number 188. All the best for your exams. Do share and subscribe the channel, and thank you so much.